Hi, I'm Geeta Kali, and I just had a question on my Instagram about how I started my spiritual journey. So it's much too long to type, and so I thought I would just do a quick video, maybe quick video. We'll see. So where do I begin? I grew up in Ohio. I was in college my freshman year. I was a modern dance major and got in a horrible car accident on January 1st. This was in 1996, so it was a little while ago. And I got horrible whiplash to the point of physical therapy was not helping me. Eventually, I found my way to an osteopathic doctor who was able to start helping me recover after many months of trying to. And he suggested yoga. Okay, so I find this the number one miracle on this journey is that in 1996 in rural Ohio, I had a doctor recommend yoga. So I did. I took some yoga classes at the university and I fell madly in love instantly, but I was a college student and not very dedicated and didn't really have a lot of money for these classes, so I went once in a while and got the 2 yoga videos I could find. Okay, this was VHS. The 2 videos I could find and did them occasionally in my dorm rooms. Fast forward a few years of doing a little yoga here and there, and I was in grad school, and I went into a meeting and I took my dinner like I always do because I always had to run off to a grad class in social work right after that. And in the middle of the class, I started feeling clammy and dizzy and almost like I was having a hypoglycemic attack like I used to have at that time, but I had just eaten, so it made no sense. So my normal time to leave the meeting to head to class, I left the meeting. I was supposed to be going to an exam, and instead I walked home. And I went to bed. And I woke up 17 hours later and my life had completely changed. I didn't know it yet, but I had a horrible virus or something, I thought. I ended up having to leave grad school because I was sick for so long. I went through a lot, which was eventually diagnosed as Lyme disease 12 years later. So, as I had just fallen sick and left grad school, I was in the most pain I'd ever been in. So pain, stiffness, headaches, brain fog, and the symptoms just kept coming. Some paralysis on one side of my face, shaking, stumbling, migraines 5 days a week. The list goes on and on. I went to doctors. They couldn't find a diagnosis. They told me it was in my head. I went to other doctors who made me worse than when I walked in the door, including making me blind and almost losing my eyesight and having to have emergency surgery. The only thing that seemed to be helping me at all was yoga. I would get on the floor, I'd roll around in a few poses, and I would feel a little bit better. The only thing that made me feel a little bit better, even though they had put me on so many pills for the symptoms. So that was my first magic pill, was yoga for this battle against Lyme disease. And I decided it was so amazing I wanted to become a yoga teacher. So I took a yoga teacher training and became a yoga teacher in 2001, 2002, and started to deepen my journey from there. 6 years later, I took an amazing training, Yoga for the Special Child with Sonia Sumar, that took me even deeper and introduced me to integral yoga and introduced me to chanting. And then my world really started flipping. Um, I could talk and talk and talk about this journey. It's been, almost a 25-year journey at this point. But then I did get so much deeper once I got to chanting. Chanting took me from being a complete atheist to someone who teaches everyone how to connect to the divine, and really opened my mind, my heart, brought so much freedom to my life. Chanting became so much to me, and I have continued on the path. I went to India, I think 6-7 times, met a Swami there, worked with him, studied with him, learned to be a pujari, a Hindu priest, have gone deeper and deeper into the practices, into the understanding, into the philosophy, into the heart, and at one point was practically living as a renunciate, and then brought all these beautiful practices to living in the world, and do my best to share what I've learned with you and with everybody I can, and I couldn't be happier. 20 years later, I'm still dealing with issues with Lyme disease, but my life is a million times better than it was when I first got sick, and most of the healing has been through yoga. The diet, the stress reduction, the power of healing, of sound and breath and meditation has done way more than any of the doctors I have worked with. And so it is magic, and it's amazing, and the path hasn't been easy. My beloved is Shiva, so destroyer. I've had lots of things thrown at me along the way, but what I've realized is that I have survived all of them, and I can still find joy, and I can still find love, and the tools of yoga did that for me. So that's a little bit more. That's part 3 about me. Feel free to contact me if I can help you, if I can inspire you, if any of this resonated with you. You want to know more. It has been an amazing journey, and I'm so grateful for it. Om, om, om.